This is 3 things I learned in my 3rd month of writing. If you're new here, hi, thanks for being here. My name's Lucy and I'm an aspiring author and I'm working on a book of short stories, ghost stories, although I now think I might have 2 books of ghost stories. Anyway, and I am documenting my journey, my writing journey on YouTube. I've never written a book of short stories before, and it wasn't until this year that I decided to make like a proper effort to do it, to get it done. Until then, it'd always just been like writing here and there when I felt like it. And I realized that it was just never going to happen doing that. So this is the year that I want to complete that collection, 1 or 2 collections, and try to get them published. And I still haven't decided how I'm going to try and get them published. That will have to come later in the year. What my focus right now is getting the stories down, because a lot of them are ideas that I've had in my head for a long time, but they've never materialized into full stories. So my priority is first doing the first draft of those short stories. So thank you for being here. The first thing is that I realized that I could adjust my writing routine and it would still work. So I had to go away for work this month for 5 days, and I changed my writing routine to fit with my circumstances whilst I was away. So instead of doing my twice weekly longer sessions, I instead did 30 minutes every evening that I was away. And the reason why that worked is that I didn't have my usual evening commitments, which I do at home, which is basically going to the gym or dance. So my evenings were free, and I also didn't have like the kids to look after. I was by myself. So that also gave me a bit more sort of mental headspace to be like ready and motivated to write, because I didn't have sort of care responsibilities to think of. However, doing 30 minutes every night, it would not work in my normal daily life because it just wouldn't fit with the other things that I do and the other things that I have to think about. But it worked well whilst I was away. And I think that when I'm away again, because I do need to travel for work fairly regularly, I've got to go away again next month, I think I'm going to try it again. And I think that's quite a nice way to keep up with the writing and just kind of change it up a bit. The second thing that I've learned is that writing does have a kind of grounding effect for me. By which I mean, I start off my write nights feeling stressed, feeling drained, feeling just mentally like, ugh. And then by the end of it, I feel better, okay? So I kind of realized this actually through making my videos where I'm explicitly sort of narrating how I'm feeling a lot of the time. And I realized that that happened several times, that when I start writing, I'm not in a great place. And by the time I finish, I'm just feeling better, generally better. So it obviously does have a positive effect on my mood or on my mental health in some way. And I think it just feels kind of like freeing for me in a sense, just to write in a sort of free and unstructured way. The third thing that I learned is that I feel like I started to feel a little bit more a sense of community from other writers on YouTube, which has been really nice. Kind of getting a bit more interaction on my videos, but also talking to other people, commenting on their videos. There is an author in Georgia in the States called Lorraine Moselle. Hi, Lorraine. And she always comments on my videos, and we just kind of have a lot in common. And I find myself just looking forward to seeing her videos every day. And there's a few other people who I started to follow, and I just started to feel like I'm learning more from other people, but also just interacting more with other people, either from similar or very different backgrounds, but kind of have similar outlook on life and on writing. And it's been really nice to feel part of that and feel a little bit of that sense of community growing. So thank you, everyone, for being here and being part of that community as well. So I'm making a sofrito. It's like a base for soups, pasta sauce, lots of different dishes. And it's just onion, celery, and carrot cooked off in some olive oil. And I'm making this because we're going away tomorrow. So I want to use up these kind of slightly sad veggies that we have in the fridge. And I'm going to bag it up and freeze it so that we can just grab it whenever we want to make something. And this is like a staple in our household, in lots of households, I imagine. So actually March has been really stressful. It's been stressful because of work. I had a deadline, reviews of things to get through, several presentations, which are kind of always stressful for me. I had a job interview, which I didn't get the position for. That was kind of stressful. Everything happened at once. I'm just like, yeah, just feeling kind of worn down by work. It's not anything to do with the lovely colleagues that I have who are amazing and I love working with them. It's just more to do with like the system that we work within, really. It can be a stressful, high pressure environment, let's say. Let's say that. And that has kind of really gotten to me this month. And I think that's why I noticed, especially this month, that writing does have this grounding and restorative effect for me, because I was feeling so much stress, especially whilst I was away by myself and I was stressing out about work. That's when I really noticed it. Just doing that half an hour writing, it just felt like happier afterwards. I've also now finished my third short story for the book, and I'm ready to start a fourth, but I'm gonna need your help. Didn't mean to wag the celery at you there. I'm gonna need your help because I can't decide what story to write next. So, can you help me decide what story to write next? So there are two options. The first option is written from a child's perspective, and it's set in her grandmother's house. The second story is written from the perspective of a young woman working in a psychiatric hospital in the 1960s, 1970s. And I can't decide which one to write. I don't have like a hugely detailed plot for either of them. It's more like a collection of ideas that need to come together organically. And I don't really have a strong preference myself. So please tell me, what should I write next? That was what I learned in March. And yeah, thank you for being here. I appreciate all of you. And see you soon. Bye.